our remote control vanished from our house.
Wow.
Just totally vanished. And I don't know how it happened or
Aliens.
what was going on.
Yeah.
I was convinced that, I even texted Chris next door because
Well, maybe
he came over to check on Figgy while we were
those things
out
will
of town.
attach. Those things will attach to
Exactly.
clothing.
I thought maybe Victoria picked it up.
Yeah.
And then, the thought was in my mind, and it was like that thing with George Carlin where you're looking for your keys.
Because it
and
could be in there.
You open up the refrigerator because I looked for the lime jello.
Yeah.
Then I had my keys. Where the hell's the lime jello? Whatever. So I even texted Chris to see if maybe Victoria picked it up, and she didn't.
Yeah.
We looked all over the living room. Now, why would the remote control leave the living room? Sometimes you have it in your hand. You walk in the kitchen, you sit on the counter, and you get your milk or your Frosty or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the kitchen. It wasn't anywhere. I am I'm laying on my stomach with the flashlight on my phone, looking under the couch. I've reclined everything. I've put my hands. I gave it like a full, a full colonoscopy.
Okay.
Each couch and the love seat, looking for this blank remote control. I cannot find it anywhere. But what we did have was a universal remote that we used to have when we were members of Spectrum. And I thought, okay, well, you know what? What I'll do is I'll just program this universal remote.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've never claimed to be technically savvy. Okay. I'm actually technically inept. I have a lot of problems with doing technical. If something goes wrong with the computer, I call you.
Yeah.
Anything else, it's like it's always a problem.
Yeah.
But I thought, I've programmed a universal remote before.
They're universal.
I can do this.
Yeah.
I can totally do this.
Yeah.
So I get on the Google and I look up programming universal remote, and I went and there's the code on the remote.
Yeah.
The 8-digit whatever at the bottom. So that's what I plug in. It comes right up. How to program this universal remote with this code.
It wasn't like a YouTube video like, today we're going to program the XY5 universal remote and the remote at the TV as so.
Yeah, exactly. And so the first thing I saw was hit TV and the OK button at the same time, and then your input button should start flashing red. So I'm doing that.
Why can't they just put a button on there that says program the f***ing remote?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. God, is it that hard?
Is there a shortage at the button factory? They can't, oh, damn. We're going to have to change the design of this. We don't have enough buttons.
And I'm pushing the two buttons together, and I'm looking at my remote waiting for the input button to flash red.
Yeah.
There's no button on my remote that says input.
Okay.
There's one that says video source, which is the same thing, but it doesn't say input.
Yeah.
So I get on the Google, and I look up, and I find a video that says how to do this specific remote.
Yeah.
And what does it do? It takes me to a Spectrum video that has Conan O'Brien all over it. Conan O'Brien hasn't been on TV in 4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And Conan O'Brien was on TV almost 30 years. They have a 4-second clip of him walking behind the curtain over to the set, and it stops.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, the same clip of him walking from the curtain to the desk. You couldn't have found more footage of Conan O'Brien for this 2-minute video tutorial.
Doesn't have like Eugene Levy coming out with SCTV.
Hey. Yeah. ABBA. Yeah. So, and then it's giving me the instructions of what to do to push these two buttons. And the remote that they're using on this tutorial has 4 buttons at the top.
Okay.
Mine has 5.
Oh.
They're teaching me how to program a different remote with buttons that I don't have.
Yeah.
So I exited out of that, and I'm looking for another video.
Okay.
And then I find a link to go to the specific remote. There's even thing. It's like, if you have a different remote, go to this page.
Yeah.
Scroll down, click on the one that you have.
Yeah.
I did that. I hit enter. It's the same video. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I go on Facebook, and of course, hey, I want people to make fun of me because I'm technically inept. And I mention, I'm like, it shouldn't be this flipping hard to program a remote.
It shouldn't be.
And my neighbor says, get your kids to do it. My kids won't do it.
Yeah.
They won't come out of their rooms. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I never did program the universal remote. I found out on my TV, if you give it a good feel up at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because remember when buttons used to be on the TV?
Yeah, yeah.
You could walk over and turn them on. Knobs.
And things and all that stuff.
Yeah, my TV, I'm feeling underneath, and there was a knob at the bottom in the middle. You push it, and then I figured out how to turn it on with a button on the thing. So that's what we were doing, like the cavemen.
Yeah.
This morning, I'm at the house by myself, and I'm thinking, I'm like, this remote is here somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the back of my couch, and I'm like, the back of our couch, like yours, has Velcro at the bottom.
Yeah.
Maybe it's there.
Oh.
Okay, so I go to our couch, and I rip the Velcro out, and what falls down?
A body?
No.
Okay.
A pair of fingernail clippers.
Yeah.
Why are they in the couch? I don't know.
Oh.
And a pencil.
Lucky Booba wasn't there.
Why is there a pencil here? I don't know. I'm glad
yeah.
it didn't puncture our brand new couch.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I go to our love seat, rip that up. There's the remote.
There you go.
It had gotten all the way down, and I call it the catcher.
Yeah.
The catcher caught it.
Yeah.
So that's where the remote was.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But still, you're right.
Yeah.
Your remote control should have a button that says program.
There was
just program.
There was
point it, program, bam.
So everything in the 80s was super stupid, complex. The instruction manual came with like a freaking instrumentation drawing. You had to go to Radio Shack and get a soldering iron to do a thing.
Yeah.
And then there was a brief period in the 90s for about 2 months where everything was like, push this button until that flashes and you're done.
Yeah.
Now everything's like, hey, you want to try to learn how to program your remote? Well, here's remote. Blah, 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 and a little cartoon character comes on. I'd like to talk to you about
Mr. Remote. And I love when you push my buttons.
Yeah, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell. Ding. Just for like 2 seconds of instruction, you got to watch an hour of this thing walking around going, hey, check out our Facebook page. Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Darren. You know, I hear a lot of people say that they just can't get into podcasts.
And that's why we created Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Yeah, on this podcast, we never go political. We don't discuss controversial issues or tell people how to think.
We're just a couple of guys who talk about all the fun, wacky, and sometimes annoying people we run into on a weekly basis.
So check us out. You'll be glad you did.
Irritable Dad Syndrome, the podcast for people who just can't get into podcasts. Available everywhere.
Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Holy shit, we got that on the first try.
I think that was pretty good.